Canaveral, another probe into space. Target, the moon. A 52-ton multi-stage rocket combining elements of the Thor ICBM and the Vanguard is readied for firing. His payload, a toy, top-shaped instrument package with its own tiny rockets. This countdown has scant margin for delay. The missile must follow a carefully computed course if there is to be any possibility of intersecting the moon's orbital passage. And there is only one 15-minute go period for launching the rocket into that course. On the planned course, the 83-pound Pioneer space probe would closely approach the moon and be swung into orbit by the moon's own gravity. From its position 250,000 miles out in space, the moon probe would have broadcast back not only scientific data of enormous value, but the first pictures ever seen by human eyes of the far side of the moon. A daring and dramatic goal that was not destined to be realized on this day.
1, 0.
The vehicle roars aloft at too steep an angle. Its velocity is cut by 800 feet a second, working more directly against gravity than planned. Reaching over 23,000 miles an hour, it carries to nearly 80,000 miles, 30 times as far as ever before. Another moonshot is scheduled next month. The Pioneer remains man's most resoundingly successful probe into space.
The Russians chalk up another victory in the space race as they put 2 manned spacecraft into orbit within 24 hours of each other. Colonel Pavel Popovich and Major Andrei Nicolaus follow in the footsteps of 2 other Russian astronauts, Titov and Gagarin, and thus give the Soviets 4 manned orbital flights against 2 for the United States. Within 72 hours, the first man aloft traveled more than 1,000,000 miles, 4 times the distance to the moon, a distance it would take a jet airliner 2.5 months to fly. As Vostok 3rd orbited, Vostok 4 followed on its heels, at one time within 75 miles, proving that a contact in outer space was possible. Tracking stations indicate that there is little doubt of the success of the Russian feat, that is seen as 2 years ahead of the U.S. effort. The Soviets made the most of the flight in their worldwide propaganda and televised pictures of the astronauts from outer space. Naturally, there was jubilation in Russia, and the crowds followed the progress of the new heroes in Red Square. Other troubles were forgotten.
This camera, part of a flying laboratory, is recovered by Clyde Holliday of Johns Hopkins, who prepared it for its trip to the upper stratosphere. Rivaling the fantastic imagination of Jules Verne, the camera brought back a record of a flight into the heavens of a captured German V-2 rocket. At White Sands, New Mexico, the huge missile takes off. Air Force pictures show the rocket in flight, and the flying camera automatically takes over. The huge projectile drops the Earth behind at the tremendous speed of 4,000 feet per second. The rotation of the rocket causes the planet to spin before the lens, and the camera photographs the Earth 65 miles straight down. The horizon, 720 miles away, and the curvature of the Earth are astonishingly apparent in this still picture from the film. 720 miles away, and the curvature of the Earth are astonishingly apparent in this still picture from the film.
Since the day I saw the cat at my door, so I came into you, sweet lady, answering your mystical call. Crystal ball on the table, showing the future, the past. Same cat with them evil eyes, and I knew it was a spicy cat.
An observer in the rocket could have seen San Diego, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and San Antonio. Approximately 1,600,000 square miles of the Earth's surface was revealed. The rocket reached the 65-mile height in 3 minutes. This giant engine of destruction, designed by Hitler to annihilate Allied nations, now serves the worthy cause of peacetime research.
A new era in worldwide communications was opened with the orbiting of Telstar, a satellite carrying complex electronic equipment. Once in orbit, Telstar picks up a signal from Earth, magnifies it 10 billion times, and relays it to a receiving station. Pictures that were broadcast from the U.S. to Europe and back had remarkable clarity. With outstanding space achievements in 1962, the United States prepares to push ahead with more ambitious projects. The Gemini is expected to make a space station rendezvous within 2 or 3 years. As the year drew to a close, the Mariner satellite probed Venus 36 million miles away, and work was progressing on Project Rover, a nuclear-powered moon vehicle. A year of crisis and progress, 1962.